Virtual teaching friends, wait till you check out how easy it is to make this countdown to class timer. You are going to love it. So the first thing I did was open up Google Slides and I just named it Countdown to Class Timer. No big deal at all. And I'm using Google Slides because my school requires Google Meet and this is just an easy correlation. And you know what? Google Slide is free. So I just went over here to theme and I just went to see what they had. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You can see what you like. And the actual one I used in my classroom, because I made this in like just a few minutes, actually was this one. Just super simple. I don't love the colors, but whatever. It doesn't matter too much, okay? So I have a little background, and then I'm going to insert a text box, and I just want this to say, maybe say, our class will begin soon. Now, the truth is, if you teach kindergarten like I do, your kids can't read this. So you're doing this for probably their parents or their virtual educational facilitator or somebody else like that. So it doesn't really matter. You occasionally will have a few readers, but no big deal. So the other thing I did that was really fun is I added a Bitmoji of myself over here. And the reason I did that was because right now, when I'm filming this, we do not have breakout rooms for Google Meet. And I wanted my kids to know which Google Meet they were going to with which teacher. So it only makes sense for me to add my Bitmoji or a photograph of me so they would make sure that they clicked the right one. And so we just added Bitmojis because they're super fun. So I'm going to come up here. Bitmoji has a Chrome extension, and if you are just curious, you can go to the Chrome store and you can literally add a Bitmoji extension. And my daughter, who thinks she is so much cooler than me, was like, you know what a Bitmoji is? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, oh my gosh. And you use it? And I was like, yeah. So she did not know there was an extension. So all you do is you go to the Chrome store and then you add it. So I says rate it because I have it, but you can just add it right here. And then what happens is it connects to the Bitmojis you already make because you log in and then it has them right here. So I'm just going to click Bitmoji and it's going to come up with all of these that I've already made. So you can pick which one you want to do. I like my little hay wave, but obviously I wanted it to be something welcoming and enthusiastic. So I just kind of picked hi. And I think this takes the longest is to figure out, like which one you want it to be. So I don't know, that doesn't seem very cheerful. Okay, so let me do this one. And so literally you just drag it out. And cool, no big deal. All right, so I'm going to put this one over here maybe because she's kind of poking out. And I'm going to go like this and make it really big. Or I think I am. And I don't love that little hay there. So I'm just going to change my view real quick. And I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller. All right, so I don't really want that there, so I have a few options. First thing I can do is I can try to crop it. Oh yeah, there we go. And then I'm good to go. And it probably won't hurt to crop over here as well, just so like alignment wise and everything. If you're like me, you kind of have issues when it comes to that kind of stuff. All right, so I have my Bitmoji peeking out here. Now if I wanted to do it, I could flip it this way too, just because I already have my text on that one side. So see if that makes it any different. And then I'm just going to scoot this over here. So now my kids would know, we're going to have class with Miss Amison. And maybe I will say, Miss Amison's class will begin soon. All right, awesome, awesome, awesome. No big deal. Well, what you really want to have on here is a timer. So I'm sure there's many ways to do this. I will just show you the easy way that I did this. And I'm not going to look like a genius in a second, but know how easy this is. So I'm going to go to Insert, and I'm going to go to Video, and I'm going to go to YouTube, and I'm going to put down a 15-minute timer because I'm usually not going to be online more than 15 minutes ahead of time. And they have a huge plethora. Now, obviously, I teach kindergarten. I'm not going to do a bomb timer probably first because I don't want to scare anybody. I actually did the rainbow timer because I love the colors of rainbows and I just think it's cheery and fun. But look how many different ones they have. I recommend starting with a very soothing one because you don't want to startle kids. And if you have any kids with special needs, also kind of put that into mind. Some people like to have music playing, but like some of these come with music. So you can think about like this one's a countdown timer and it has workout music, but some of them have little background timers with music like children's instrumental. So just know that if you are wanting to play music, you can absolutely do that through this. So you don't have to do two different things. Now I did this animated rainbow timer because it silently counts down and it has a nice little song. And like I said, I like rainbows. So look, I'm just going to click that one and hit select. If you wanted a different time, just type in a different time right here and see what happens. But I knew I wasn't going to go longer than 15 minutes. And Google Slides imports that super nice. Now, what I love is that it can get smaller or bigger. So you can really truly align this and make this be exactly what you want this to be. And the problem is that we do that and then we play and it takes forever. But I'm going to put this over here and I'm just going to kind of put this timer where I want it to be. Super, super easy, right? Nothing about this was difficult. Now you can tell it which time to start at right here if you want to. I just left mine alone. Now, another thing that you're probably going to ask is what if you want it to be less than 15 minutes? And I'm going to show you that too, okay? So what happens is, well, first, this is done. It can be done or it cannot be done. And when you click present right here, you can click start your timer. Now, say I actually get this going and my class is going to start in 10 minutes. I just come over to the timer and I slide it over to where I need it to be. So like I said, I knew I was never going to have more than 15 minutes. I was never going to probably log on more than that. And look how soothing that is. Like, I think it's super soothing, and my kids really liked it. I can also see it being a lot of fun if you change this timer out, maybe according to your theme or what you're teaching. And then, so I would just kind of move my scale there and not super worry about it. Okay, so that is what I would use. Now, the other thing I would use is I would just make a copy of this, which is super simple too. And I do one-on-one meetings with my kids in the afternoons. And every day I have 4 to 6 one-on-one virtual meetings. So what I can do is I can just come over here and pick a different Bitmoji. And of course, it could be a totally different person too, but I'm just going to pick this one just to save time. And I just put Miss Amison is meeting with, and then I literally give the kids my schedule that day. So I start meetings at 1:30 and I meet with students every 15 minutes. And what happens is I've noticed some of my kids hang out online and they just want to see me and they will pop in all the time. So this kind of helps parents know who I'm meeting with and at what time in case they forgot. And it also just kind of, I have it here so I can quickly scroll over to this and say, this is who I'm meeting with today, guys, as a reminder. So I'm going to come put this Bitmoji right up here. And because I want to make this super easy for my kids, I have a class picture of them that I use for a lot of stuff. So all I do is I go over here to insert image and I grab their actual pictures that I would use in the classroom. Now you guys know I never show you my actual students. So, and of course I picked the one I didn't have on there. Hey Chandler Bing, you will be my 245. And I would literally put down the time and then the picture just as kind of extra help so that they would know who they were meeting with. So I would cover their pictures right over here so they could easily see. And then super, super easy. Okay. Now I have to show you how to use this with Google Meet. So I have this one right here, and I actually have different ones. So like if it's me with my special ed teacher or me with my TA or anybody else, I have multiple ones of these. And then I have one of these that looks similar to this for every day of the week. So I have them ready to go so I know exactly who I'm meeting with every single day, and they know too, so I can put it. But I have to use this as a timer for my actual classroom. So I'm going to pause real quick and I'm going to go into Google Meet. I'm going to show you how I use it. Okay, so when I go into my Google Meets, we do not right now have the waiting room feature for our students. And what that means is that my students can usually get in before me. And no, I do not love it. Yes, we are working on solving it, but it is a problem. So I don't like my kids to be in this Google Meet without me. It just worries me. So I can't sit on here 30 minutes before and 30 minutes after to make sure kids aren't on here. It just doesn't work. So what I do is I can open up my Google Meet and I can turn off my camera and turn off my mic and I can monitor this room. And my kids would see this, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, right? That's fine for kids to see. But what I want them to do instead is I want them to see my countdown timer. So what I can do is I can go to Present Now, and I'm going to go to a Chrome tab, and I'm going to go to that countdown to class timer that I made. And now I'm presenting this page to everyone. So I just go into the Present button, right? And now this is what my kids are actually seeing in their Google Meet. And I can push play, and this is the screen that they get. They see this. I can still watch them, right? Because, right, like I can see all of them right here. I know what tab they're seeing, and they are seeing this. It works really, really, really well. The other thing is, so what I did was I took my little mouse and I just scrolled down. So I can easily have it go from slide to slide, and I can have it on a timer. Or I can just have this one up here. So even though I use this one before my big meetings, like in the first thing in the morning, and especially before calendar, because we do calendar live, I can scroll down to this one. And remember, I would have a whole bunch of them. And then I can have this one up right before my Monday meeting with all of these people. So it works really, really well. And then when I want to stop presenting this, so say class is about to start, I just click stop, and then I can turn my camera feature back on, and I can turn my mic on, and then I can go straight into my Google Meet classroom. So it is something so simple, and I'm going to turn this off, and so fun, but my kids love it. And they're over there counting down the time, and they're watching the rainbow go. And again, it only took a few minutes to make. So I highly recommend it. If you have just a few moments and a really cute Bitmoji, you can make that happen too.